This is East Lambroughton Farm, near Stewarton in North Ayrshire. It was occupied as a farmhouse in the 1840s by a James Nairn. And the map suggests that it was first built around about 1829. However, the exposed stonework shows a lower area of more local rubble stone, possibly from the river. That's from the Annick, which lies nearby, whilst the remainder of the building appears to be dressed sandstone of a reasonably high quality, suggesting it was constructed by the Ayrshire estate who owned this land. The byre, or barn, running from it towards the west is a later addition. This small outhouse coming off at a right angle appears to be later still. The old stonework, the rubble, which appears to have come from the river, might suggest that a small cottage was here before the farm was built. Detached from the building is a much smaller barn or byre. This one lost its roof about 10 years ago. Well constructed building. The finishing points like the top, the apex there of the gable end, nicely carved stone. The unusual square window set into the gable end there was clearly constructed before the barn was added. The chimneys are a fine feature, very well constructed. There's a very large stone set into the wall. It's unclear whether this was another entrance. The stonework here is very hard to interpret. Here was a major entrance, and the main entrances to the barn, presumably before it was converted into a cattle byre. And various other features, partly blocked up windows. Here, a blocked up door. And here's this unusual window. This building at one point, before it was finally abandoned, had at least 3 families living within it. They were rehoused at Chapelton Terrace. The last person to use the building was a tramp who lived in the upper room, which had surprisingly good quality plastering on the roof and the ceiling. The building has been deteriorating for some considerable time. It's obviously undergone many changes. Here is another wall showing very similar construction. What appears to be stones taken from the River Annick, like the other side of the building, but this is only at a lower level. The Lambroughton burn ran in the distance. We're now looking down towards Townhead of Lambroughton, a farm that was not part of the Ayrshire estates. However, just in the distance, slight raised area of ground. In that area was located Lambroughtonend farm, which dates from about 1789. It may be that farm was abandoned and East Lambroughton farm was built to replace it. Lambroughtonend's grounds ran from the Lochrig burn down by the hedge in the distance, down to the woods beside the River Annick. This is East Lambroughton cottages.